Hey guys, welcome back again to my channel. So we are going to be making that button down crop shirt that I just watched me put it on with these 2 yards of fabric here, and I'll also be using a lining. So guys, if you are interested in this, follow up and let's get started. So guys, for this video you are going to be needing nothing less than 2 yards of fabric. So I'll just have to open it up here like this and then just fold it into 2 equal parts, as you can see. Now I'm going to flip it to the wrong side of the fabric, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So guys, now that you are done with that, so the next thing for me to do now is just for me to try and arrange it out just the way you see me doing. So having done that, now on this edge here I'm going to fold it in by about 2 inch. As you can see, I'm folding it in about 2 inches, and then I'll just have to use my pin to hold it down. This is the front part of the shirt, and this is where the button is going to be on. So this is serving as the button flap. So having done that, now the next thing for me to do is for me to make use of my tape now, and to do that I'll have to turn this over to take the actual measurement that I'm using for this crop shirt now. So coming by the shoulder here, so I'm going to measure the shoulder divided by 2 plus half inch. The shoulder is 16 and that divided by 2 is 8 inches, and I just added 1 extra inch for the stitching allowance. So I'll have to come down here by 7 inches, and I'll just have to mark it out. So this is what we have now. So from this shoulder down I'm going to come by 3 inches and just mark it here. So this is what we have now for that. So from this ending all the way to that point where I mark, I'm going to make a slant line all the way to meet the point, and this is what it looks like. So now I'll have to come down by 7 inches here for the armhole, and as you can see I'm just trying to mark it. I hope this is visible enough. So having done that, now I'm just going to connect it up to meet that point where we marked earlier, and this is what we have now. So to get the bust part, I'm going to be dividing my bust by 4, and I have 8 inches. So I'm just going to add 2 extra inches for the allowance on the side. And having done that, now for the armhole I'm going to extend it out by extra 3 inches, and this is it. So I'll just have to mark it now. So having done that, as you can see, I'm just going to use my curve ruler now to make a curve here for the armhole part, and this is what it looks like. So having done that, now I'll have to measure it, and as you can see we have it to be 30 inches altogether for the bust there. So now before I cut it out, I'm going to be measuring the length I'm using. I'm supposed to cut it out with 18 inches, but I'll just have to cut it out with 70 instead, because the back part is going to have a come down. So I'll just have to mark it now. So guys, for the hem part, the down part of the shirt as well, I used 30 inches, exactly the same measurement we have for the bust all the way to the down. So now having done that, I'll just have to use my scissors to trim on all this line that we created. So now you can see the outcome in how it looks like. This is for the front part. So on this down part I'll just have to put a notch there, and on the up part I will have to put a notch as well. So this is how the front part of this dress look like. You can see the inner part, and this is it. So now I'll just have to place this aside for now. Now bringing this remaining piece here, I will have to turn it over and just arrange it out for me to cut the back part that I'm using for this shirt. So now to do that, I will arrange it out now. I'll have to break the front piece and just place it here like this. So as you can see, I'm placing it on it exactly the way it is. So now I have to come down a little bit and just make a straight line here, a curve on this armhole part. So having done that, now down a little bit. So for this shoulder part I'm going to bring down the front part a little bit and just make a slant a little bit down to the neckline of the back part. And having done that now, I just folded it and you see how it looks. So this is how it's going to be on the back part. So I'll just have to use my pin to hold it down. And having done that now, I'm going to cut the rest part exactly the way the front part is, and that is what I'm just going to do now. So now this is it. I haven't cut it out now. This is how we have it to be like. So I'll just have to remove the pin now and open it up, and this is what we have it to be like. So I'll just have to turn it over now to make the cut for the neck parts. So to do that now, for this front part on the depth here, I will have to measure 3 inches and just mark it out. I hope this is visible enough. So for the width, I will have to measure 2.5 inches and just mark it out. So having done that now, I'm going to use my curve ruler to make the curve. So this is what we have for the front now. So for the back part, I'm using the same T. For the depth, I will have to come down by 1.5 inches and just mark it out. And on the width, I will measure the same 2.5 inches. So I'll just have to make the curve like that. So having done that now, I'm going to use my scissors to cut it out. So this is what we have now. I haven't done that, so I folded this shoulder part and this is what we have it to be like. So this is how it's going to look, and this is the front part and this here is the back part. So this is all we have for that now. Now I'm going to open it up, and first of all I'm going to remove the pin that I'm using to hold the flap down. So this is what we have it to be like. So I'll just have to trim the edges away. So having done that now, this is what we have. So I'm going to open it up. This here is for the back part, and opening it up, this is how it looks on the inner part. As you can see, that is for that. And opening the front part as well, this is the two parts and this is what we have it to be like. So I'll just have to place them now aside. So I'm going to use a lining because this fabric is not that thick enough. So to do that, I'll have to fold this into two, and bringing one part of the front part, I'll have to place it on top and just arrange it out. And I'm going to cut it out exactly the same as this fabric. So this is it, but because this part is the flap part, I'll just have to fold it in on the point where I notched earlier and just use my pin to hold it down. The reason why I did that is because this part doesn't need lining because it's already folded into two. So I'm going to cut out this remaining excess. So we have the lining to be like this for the two parts of this shirt, and I'll just have to remove the pin, opening it up, bringing one part of the lining. This is how I'm going to place it on it here, and I'll just have to sew it down and cover the side with that flap part, the excess we have for the flap part. So that is that for the front part. So bringing the lining again and arranging it out, I'll just have to place the back part of the shirt on it and just arrange it on it just the way you see me doing. And I'm going to arrange it out and then just make the cut exactly the way this back part is for the toner. So guys, this is the back part now, so I'll just have to open it up, the right side facing up, and bring it the lining. I'll just have to open it up and arrange it on it, and I'll just have to take it to the same machine now just to stitch this side down, the side here and this other side. I'm not going to sew the neckline from the inside, I'm going to sew it from the outside, the outer part. And for the front part here, I'm going to stitch this part down and I'll just have to do the side and then the neckline from the outside as well. So guys, this is how they look now. This is the back part, and you can see the way I stitched the neckline, and this the side as well. So this is what we have for the back part now. So bringing the front parts, you can see the two parts of this front part. You see the way I did the neckline. I went ahead to sew about 1 inch here on the neckline from the inside, and this is how it looks before sewing the other part from the outside. So this is what we have for the front part of this shirt, and you can see how it looks on the side from the inside. So now I'm going to join the shoulders together, and I'll have to break the back part, and bringing the front part I'll have to align it and then just take it to the sewing machine, joining the shoulders to the back part, the front part to the back part. So I'll just take it to sew on the shoulder line. So guys, this is it. I went ahead to join the shoulders, and this is how it's aligned. So this is what we have. You can see the side, the front part, the flap part, and this is the back part. So this is what we have. So now to get the length for the collar, so I'm going to measure the neck round from this point where I notch all the way to the other point. And having done that, as you can see, we have it to be 14 inches. So that is the length we are using for the collar. So for the collar, bringing this piece here, I'll have to fold it into two like this, and just turn it over and cut out that remaining excess. So now I'm going to be folding it into two like this and just turn it over. And 14 divided by 2 for the collar, that is 7 inches. So I'll just have to add 1 extra inch for the stitching allowance. So I'll have to come down by 3 inches for the depth, and on this edge side I'll have to measure 2 inches. So having done that, now I'm going to use my scissors to cut it out. So guys, this is it, and as you can see, I will have to measure, and we have it to be 15 here. That 1 inch is for the stitching. So the next thing is for me to stitch it down, but before I do that, but because this fabric is not thick enough, I'm going to be lining it as well, because I don't have hairstay at the moment. So I'm going to place it on this lining and then just make a cut the way this is. So having done that, now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine to sew all the way around. So guys, this is it. You can see I've sewn it, and I left one part unstitched, and you can see the remaining parts where I sewed down. So this is what we have now. The next thing for me to do is for me to fold it into two like this and take the sides to stitch down. So guys, you can see I've done that, and I went ahead to iron it out, and this is what we have it to be like. I stitched the two sides. So the next thing for me to do is for me to measure, and as you can see is the exact 40 inches that we have. So the next thing for me to do now is for me to bring the fabric, the shirt itself, and place this collar on the parts where I left unstitched, and I'm going to place it to stitch all the way around on the neck on the parts where I left unstitched. So have to pin it round on the neck now. I'll just have to take it to the sewing machine to stitch. So guys, this is it. This is how it came out now. I've stitched from one edge, from one point to the other point of this neck part, and this remaining part now, this other part where I folded in earlier, I'm going to use it to cover up the part where I stitched. So I'll just have to take it to the sewing machine to stitch from one edge to the other. So guys, you can see how the neck came out clean. I've gone ahead to iron it out, and that is how it looks. So the next thing for me to do now is for me to reshape the armhole. I'm just going to turn it over and cut out a little bit from it. So now we just have to pin this flap part. So guys, this is it. This is what we have now after reshaping it. You can see how the armhole is looking, and this is what we have for this now. So I'll just have to measure it in for the length. We have it to be 80 inches for now. So I'll just have to place this aside. So guys, and for this remaining piece here, as you can see, this is the one I'm using for the sleeve. As you can see, I folded it into two. Now I'm going to fold it into two again to make 4 fold. But before I do that, I'll first of all break the shirt itself and just measure the armhole round. And as you can see, we have it to be 24 inches, so that divided by 2 is 12. So that's what I'm going to use now to cut out the sleeve. So bringing back the sleeve, I will just have to fold the down part into two, about 1 inch, and just pin it down just the way you see me doing. So having done that now, I'm going to measure the sleeve length, and I'm using 8 inches for that. But I will just have to add 1 extra inch to it for the stitching. So I'll just have to mark it there. And for the down part here, I'm going to be using the round 14 inches, and that divided by 2 is 7. So you see me, I just added 1 extra inch to it. So now for the curve on the armhole, I'm just going to make the curve, and then having done that now, I'll just have to use my scissors to cut it out. So guys, I've done that now. This is it. These are the two sleeves. So I'll just have to open it up, and these are the two pieces we have. So I'll just have to turn it over to the wrong side and folding it in like this, about 1 inch. So I'll just have to take it to the sewing machine. So guys, these are the two parts of the sleeve, so I'll just have to place them aside. So bringing the shirt itself now, I'll just have to open up the armhole parts. So bringing one part of the sleeve, I will have to place it on the part where I notch all the way around on the armhole, pin it down, do the same thing to the other one, and take it to the sewing machine to sew. Having done that now, this is what we have. This is how the sleeve look on this side, and this is the other one. So the next thing for me to do now is for me to turn it over to the wrong side and just take it to sew using my body measurement. For the sleeve, I'll be using 40 inches, and for the bust, I'll be using 38, and I'm going to use that to sew it all the way to the down part. And once I'm done with that, I will have to fold the down part all the way around. So guys, this is it now. You can see the sleeve, the down part. I folded it, and this is how the sleeve look. So guys, the next thing for me to do is for me to just take this to the sewing machine, fix the buttonhole, and then fix the button to it, and that will be basically all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section, and please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my video. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye bye.